What do you do if you're disabled and retired? Well, you're going to find out right after this.
I want to be your disability rep.
Happy Monday, everybody. How was your weekend?
Busy, yours?
Great. I was going to ask you if I'm missing a tooth and I'm like a TV personality. Is that disability worthy?
Probably not.
Probably not?
Yeah.
Dang. But I got to put back in, so
I think it's a limitation you can overcome.
Oh, yeah, maybe. I might just have to play into my strength there. So, yeah, you mentioned this before we went on the air, and I didn't know that, but you can file for disability even if you're retired under certain circumstances.
Yeah, so when we file for our retirement early, Social Security penalizes us. I think most people realize that. You can access the retirement program at age 62. As opposed to full retirement age for most of us is 67. The problem with doing so is that they reduce what they pay us. And that reduction can actually be 30%.
Oh, wow.
So it can be a huge reduction. And true to government form, it's a very odd standard. So it's 5/9 of 1% up to 36 months.
I can't do that math.
And then it's 5/12 additional of 1% over 36 and then up to the maximum at 60 months early when you get the 30%. So the takeaway is that it can be at least at the most a 30% reduction in what you draw. And that's a lifetime reduction.
Wow. Yeah, that's a big deal.
It is a big deal. And for a lot of people, that reduction then applies to the spouse benefits, for example. That reduction kind of haunts people for years and years and years. Think about retiring at 62 and live until 82. You got 20 years of a 30% reduction.
That's a significant amount of money when you get and all that. That's a big deal.
Right. And so when they raised the retirement age up to 67, one thing that people needed to realize, and maybe didn't, is that you are a worker or worker eligible until you're age 67, which means you're subject and under the disability program.
I see. So that window, that 5-year window, is really what we're talking about?
Yeah, it really is.
Okay.
So, if you retire at age 62 and you have some health issues, you can file for disability. And if approved for disability, it takes away that penalty.
Oh, well, that's a good deal then. That's something people should keep in mind.
It is. And the thing is, the way that Social Security is set up, they recognize age as a vocational adversity. And so the older we are, the easier it is to qualify.
Wow.
And if we start thinking about what job opportunities are available to a 64-year-old, if it's within their wheelhouse, something they know how to do, they may be able to step into a similar job without a lot of training, and that may be realistically possible. But if you've lost your career because of some health concerns, the likelihood of you getting hired and trained to do something brand new at 60 or 64, pretty low.
Well, that's a big deal. I think that's revolutionary for some people out there. I mean, if you're between, or you know somebody between 62 and 67 that took that early retirement, I mean, that's something to explore because you may not even be thinking, well, I've got this health issue, but it's not really affecting my life because I'm not working. But it could be worth exploring with somebody like you to figure out, well, can that calculation increase my Social Security benefits?
Yeah. My wife had a friend, excuse me, my wife had a friend who worked at the state with her for years and years and years. In her early retirement, when she stepped out at 63, I think it was, she started having lots of hand problems, ended up with carpal tunnel. She was a receptionist. She typed for a living.
Yep.
She didn't retire because of the disability. She retired because she was ready to retire. Yep. But she developed that disability, and that transition again, turned into a couple $100s a month.
Yeah.
And so, we're not going to end up with $700,000, $800,000, $900,000 out of this on the add-on, but it's a utility payment.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, if we're talking about, 62 to 82, we're talking 20 years. If we're talking $2,400 a month, then we're talking 48, 50, almost $50,000.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
It is.
Yeah.
And you have people out there that are suspending their retirement from 67 to age 70 to end up with a couple $100.
Yeah.
But here's an opening for folks who are in that younger group to maybe pick up a couple $200-300. It depends on what you paid in as to what you draw out. So I can't say, it's $300 guaranteed, what have you. But, in today's world, if somebody covered your utility bill, you'd thank them every day.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can thank you for that. If you want to know more, you can call Roy. He can make that happen for you if you qualify. But if you need to find out more, just have some questions, give him a call. The number is on the screen behind us, 417-812-6698. He'd love to talk to you today.
Another thing, guys, is I am a licensed Medicare agent. So when we're talking to folks that are in this age group, 65, 62, call me. We'll talk about retirement. If you have questions about Medicare, give me a ring. I can help you with that too.
All right. One-stop shop. Just what Bruce had in mind when he created the Resource Center. And we'll be back next week.
I want to be your disability rep.